What's going on, box fans? Julian Williams with The Distance. I'm here to give you my number 4 and my top 5 for Manny Pacquiao matchups this week. Yesterday was my number 5, Manny Pacquiao versus Lionel Ladabwa, and now on to number 4. Number 4 is Manny Pacquiao's last matchup against Ricky Hatton. Now, the matchup was very short, and it was a decisive defeat. And though many boxing experts look at this as a big statement, I kind of look at it a little bit differently. Now, as many of you know, Hatton was knocked out in the second round, but Hatton was the 140-pound champion. He had quality wins at 140 pounds, and people don't take that. A lot of people don't take that in consideration. They automatically look at Hatton as a bum, but then again, in 2005 he defeated the who was considered the lineal champion, Costa Tszyu, and bullied him and roughhoused him and got the victory. And he had some quality wins at 140. And Hatton did move up to 147 and lose to Mayweather, and some debate whether or not he was the same fighter who went into the ring December 8th of 2007. Some people think he was damaged goods, and he had a new trainer, Floyd Mayweather Sr., and he fought Paulie Malignaggi, who's a very solid, very well-rounded boxer, very slick and very skilled, and he defeated Malignaggi in a one-sided matchup. So basically, what I'm trying to say is Malignaggi a bum, or was Costa Tszyu a bum? And I'll admit, Hatton did have a lot of fights out in Europe, but Ben Taki and Costa Tszyu and Paulie Malignaggi, those are actually some good victories, if you ask me. But anyway, on to the matchup. There was a lot of build up into the matchup. Some people, Pacquiao just came off his win against De La Hoya. He was pretty much the new cash cow in boxing, and Hatton won the matchup with him. And I guess what was happening was a lot of people were thinking Floyd Mayweather was going to come out of retirement to fight Pacquiao, after the De La Hoya matchup, after that one-side victory of De La Hoya, and then there was Hatton, talk of Hatton, and people were actually excited and anticipating this fight, because now Hatton had a new trainer in Floyd Mayweather Sr., and some people said they saw improvement in Hatton in the Malignaggi fight. And in January, the contract was signed, but there was a lot of trouble getting the contract signed. From the Hatton camp, they were saying Pacquiao was playing hardball with him and stuff, but there was so much build up into this matchup, but it was so short. And they had the 24/7, all the trash talk, and they were building up, and basically the build up was trainer versus trainer. Freddie Roach versus Floyd Mayweather Sr. Who's the better strategist, and who had the better boxer? And Floyd Mayweather Sr. said, "Hey, I have the better boxer." Freddie Roach is kind of like, "Well, hey, I have the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world." So this matchup was basically I looked at this matchup as more for trainer supremacy rather than boxing supremacy. That's more of what it was. And on May 2nd, 2009, this year, Ricky Hatton and Manny Pacquiao took on each other in a short matchup, which was very one-sided. Hatton came out just swinging, looking, he just looked wild and stuff, and he just had so much trouble with Pacquiao. Pacquiao was moving around. He would hit him, with all kinds of combos, and hit him with shots he didn't see coming. And all these shots were landing flush on Hatton's chin, and there was nothing Hatton could do to stop it. Hatton was just over. Hatton was overmatched. that it seemed. And Hatton's a quality opponent. Hatton was a 140-pound champion, and he's getting demolished by Manny Pacquiao, who at that time never fought at 140, but he's fought at 147 around that time. But in the second round, Hatton was at the very end of the second round. Hatton was ultimately KO'd. I believe it was I think it was a left or no, it was a right hook. It was a right hook that sent him to the canvas. If it was a hook, it was I know it was a right hand that sent him to the canvas, and Hatton was dazed. And it was one of those matchups that was just shocking to watch, because you didn't expect that matchup to end so fast. After you pay like $40-50 to watch that matchup, and the undercard wasn't that good, and you get to the matchup and it's just short, and this matchup was supposed to be guaranteed action from the start. I thought it was going to be a mid-round TKO or a mid-round war or something, a war that would go to the mid to later rounds, but it ended in a second round TKO actually for Manny Pacquiao, and it pretty much put his exclamation point on the fact that he's the number one pound for pound fighter in the world, and he had a more dominating win against Hatton than Mayweather did. But then again, they're at different weights and at different times. Mayweather defeated him first, but Pacquiao delivered the second round TKO. So, it's like this: which is better? That's up to you, boxing fans. But anyway, that was my number 4, Manny Pacquiao versus Ricky Hatton. I'll be back tomorrow for number 3, and be sure to tune in to the 12th and final round following the Manny Pacquiao Miguel Cotto matchup on November the 14th. Be sure to tune in, be sure to call in. But anyway, that was Distance. Peace.